And we're live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a PMQ stream for the 5th of February 2020. You're going to notice in the description down below, for those who are paying attention, a little more than me. Last week's got hit. Not even a joke. Apparently a company called Global Media copyright claimed the entire stream. I know this because while they timestamped an area of it, when I went to then trim the part out that they wanted removed, it wasn't the 3 minutes they claimed was theirs, even though I spoke for 2 minutes 42 seconds of it. No, it was the entire stream bar the final 6 minutes, where it's just me talking. Yes. Needless to say, I was not best impressed. So hello, Credible Threats, Irene, Stephen O'Kane, Tiana Chittister, Young's my name, Minty, Stuart Meatball, Chicken 2.0, Nerdy Rodent, Yoshi Rabbit, a Turco Gamer Judas. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. And hello, Lulubell. You changed your name back! Congratulations. So yeah, the stream was pulled because I couldn't be bothered to deal with them. They were claiming ad money and all that. You know what? I don't care. It's gone. I can't be bothered to fight them. It takes too much effort. So, no. If it happens in the future on these streams, then I guess we'll have to change up how we do this. But yeah, I didn't know, by the way, that the UK Parliament YouTube channel... Hello, Erin Echo. Hope you're well. I didn't realise that there was a company that could claim ownership of these streams. I mean, it's UK Parliament, and they literally live stream it. So I'm not entirely sure how they've done that, but they have. And then what they do is once it's processed, they actually trim out the bits before and just after it, so you only get PMQ. I know this because I watch it. And originally it's like an hour long, and it's now 34. So whoever Global Media is, thanks. Thanks for that. So we will proceed with PMQs. Hello, River Wolf. Hope you're well. Could move streams to Twitch. Nah, game stream there. I'm not doing that. So, Moisty Live, PMQs. Here we are. Here's the video, everyone. Hopefully I don't get a copyright claim. If I do, it's fine. I'll probably just pull it and then trim it and upload it as a video instead. But I like the live stream format, so I don't want to have to do that. But others had suggested I do this as a video format. I mean, I'm not against the idea, but at the same time, I feel that that's a cop-out. Because I built this channel on these streams. This entire channel was built on PMQ streams and political recaps. And I'm not ditching either. If anything was ever to go here, it would be the regular content. Hey Alex, hey Davey. So as far as I'm concerned, I will always do this. And I don't know who Global Media actually is in the grand scheme of all of it. I really don't know who they are as a company. It could be a troll just trying to claim money. I don't care. I'm not filling in the counter, because that means giving them information, and I'm not doing that. So, this, I've watched it once. I vaguely have an idea what's going on, so we will get to it. Let's start. Oh, hang on, no. Hello, did I say hello, Chicken 2.0? I may have. I do apologise if I haven't. And Funky Animal, the Earl of Funkdom. Hello. Enjoying the channel, bud. Keep up. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Stephen O'Kane. Maximilian Robespierre. Hope you're well. Yes. Oh, audio's actually good for once. Victory is ours. Who else thinks Mitt Romney is a massive... I don't know anything about Mitt Romney past him competing against Barack Obama for presidency and losing. And I believe drowning his sorrows in chocolate milk.
Questions, I'd just like to draw the attention to the House the fact that for the first time...
Okay, this is boring already. We're going to skip ahead a little bit. No offence to Lindsay Hoyle, but no, I don't care about deaf people having the ability. Yeah. Hello, Ray Dale. I should say this now before we start. Actually, you won the recent contest. You won. Your badge is in the post. Hope you get it soon, Ray. It'll look good next to your other victory badge. Jesus, you got a little collection going on.
Everyone who has worked very hard to make this happen. Question 1, Dr. Jamie Walsh.
Question number 1, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, the whole House will want to pay tribute to the police and all of the emergency services for their brave response to the terrorist incident in Streatham on Sunday.
Yeah, the one where now there's a bit of we've got an odd thing going on because the government is going to try and push through laws that will remove the after you fulfill half your sentence for certain crimes, you can just go. But there are lawyers already trying to deal a blow to the government by saying no. I assume you didn't read my rant on it. If you link it to me, or did you email me that? Because if you did, I do apologise for not seeing it. And yes, Alex, that is the new speaker. So Lindsay Hoyle, and he's actually I like him. He's a very likeable guy. I'm not good with technology. Into these. My profile got back, but lost my picture. This is the only one. Oh right, I did wonder. Yes, the terror attack. I was going to do a video on it, possibly for Friday, on the main channel. I have his name on Discord. What was his name? I'm just going to click on my server because it's right there. The guy's name is, scroll up, Sudesh Aman is the most recent one. The guy was he only 19 years old or something? It's ridiculous. Or was he 21? He was still ridiculously young. I mean, that's just, no. Hello, Globus Hystericus. Hope you're well. It's a really dark thing. It's happened twice recently. It's not good. No. But I find it interesting. People are trying to. I'm going to be very interested and neutral. I'm going to have to be neutral for a bit, I guess. Interested to see the position because I can't really comment. I can't really slam the lawyers too much until I know what their position is when it comes to why they are against this being repealed. Hello, Sith and Bimby. Fish and what do I get? You get this, yes. Sorry.
This appalling incident makes plain the case for immediate action, and we will shortly introduce emergency legislation to make sure that we do everything to protect the public. Mr. Speaker, this morning I had meetings with ministerial colleagues and others, and in addition to my duties in this House, I shall have further such meetings later today.
Dr. Jamie Wallace.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of my constituents in Bridgend, may I warmly congratulate the Prime Minister for delivering on the promise made to the British people that we will leave the European Union.
Oh yeah, this is the first PMQ since we actually left, isn't it? Huh. I guess we didn't run out of food then.
Will he reassure my constituents that now that we are taking back control of our money, our borders and our laws, that every effort will be made to bring jobs and investment to areas such as Bridgend that feel left behind?
Okay, plant question, good. Imagine Boris Johnson naked. I'm sure that man is rocking abs of steel and yeah, that's it really. I'm sorry the video made you sick, Ray. My apology.
Mr. Speaker, I can give him that assurance, and I can tell him that with better education, better infrastructure and high technology, we will unite and level up this country and deliver, as he is doing, for the people of Bridgend.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Cringe. The one issue I always take with those plant questions is it's an excuse for then the Prime Minister, it doesn't matter who it is, to then just reel off all the buzzwords to say what they're going to do. And now, of course, he's a very positive guy. I give him credit for that. Level up. I think you'll find you'll do a better job with rare candy.
Leader of the Opposition, Right Honourable Jeremy Corbyn.
Mr. Speaker.
Whoa. He got cheered. Okay.
We were all appalled by the terror attack in Streatham on Sunday, and I want to join the Prime Minister in paying tribute to the bravery and dedication of the police, security services and all the other emergency response staff in the way in which they dealt with what was a terrifying and terrible situation.
I want to give credit to one particular police officer whose name I don't know yet. The guy had balls of steel. He went straight up to the guy after he was shot to check to see if the jacket was actually a live suicide vest or not. That was, I mean, yeah, that's kind of, I don't know if it's stupidity or bravery, I can't be sure, but it's still, yeah, I'm quite impressed. I still maintain in 2020 I should be able to end all of you with snapping of a glove, but what do I know? Yeah, I tend to agree, Max. We need the new opposition, because this is, nah.
Last Friday, this country left the European Union. Britain's
Yay.
place in the world.
I'm kidding. I don't do celebrations. I put Rule Britannia on and let irate Alex come onto my stream to start screaming about it.
Britain's place in the world is at a crossroads. And whilst there are different views across this country, we will be holding this government to account as the negotiations begin.
Good. That tells me you are... Jesus, that's a grim image to have there, Alex. I actually think that's the Corbyn here. That's actually a good position to hold, because you'd be really bad opposition if you weren't. Yeah, need that new shadow cabinet though, because this is... Hello, Carlos. Hope you're well, mate. This is a joke, and yeah, I don't, state the obvious. Let's continue.
But my hope is that we now truly come together to shape our common future and build an internationalist, diverse and outward-looking country.
I don't know why you have to throw the word diverse in there. It feels like it doesn't matter. Outward thinking, And actually, no, you're right. How do you hold Boris Johnson to account if you're not even a threat to him? You're not. But yeah, I do like the idea of being an outward-thinking country, international, globalist. I'm not against that in the slightest, actually. But not sure how you could offer anything when you're still in denial and believe that your manifesto is the best option for the country. Would you like another referendum or maybe a general election?
Indeed, we'll get an opportunity to do that when Britain hosts the UN Climate Change Conference, COP26, later this year.
I'm actually looking forward to that, by the way. In Glasgow, I believe. That's actually quite, that's going to be quite exciting, I think. Hello, Russell Burnham. Hope you're well. And Davey, I don't know if I said hello to you or not. If I did, yes. And hello, Normie Onanap. Hello, Normie.
Despite the fact that we are the 11th hour to save the planet...
Oh, I'm so afraid.
The former Tory minister and now ex-president of COP26, Claire O'Neill, said, and I quote, "There has been a huge lack of leadership and engagement from this government." What on earth did she mean?
Is this the same person who said that Boris Johnson, was it he didn't believe in climate change or something, or he didn't understand climate change? Because I was meant to look into this as well for a video, and I completely forgot. Oh, that was stupid of me. My apologies. I have not looked into that as much as I should have, but I'm very much intrigued to know what he actually said. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I think if you look at what this government is achieving and already has achieved on climate change, it is quite phenomenal. And he will know, Mr. Speaker, that last year was the first year on record that renewables produced more of the energy of this country than fossil fuels. He will know that since this government came to power, since power in 2010, 99% of all the solar panels that have achieved that miracle were installed under this government. We are delivering for the people of this country. We are reducing greenhouse gas. All he would produce, I'm afraid, is a load of hot air.
Well, he'd be doing it from the back benches. And is that true? Trump innocent? I'm going to have to quickly... I do have to apologise for a second here. Trump. Let's have a look. Senate acquits president... Oh, my life. Oh, no, they did. Oh, my God. Oh. Oh, no. There's a vote. Oh, my God. They actually did. The madman. Hang on, no. Oh, Jesus, they actually did. Well, then. Right. I'm sure you all have your opinions on it. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of messages from Trups, because he and I message over Facebook a lot. Because it's the only way he can get hold of me while he's at work. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, this Friday's going to be cancer. It's going to be I'm hosting this Friday. It's going to be absolute cancer. What have you done, America? You should have thought of me first. Oh, no. I thought that the Friday stream that we're going to do would be centered around Pelosi tearing up the State of the Union. Because I did ask on Twitter, I asked if it was normal, because it's just a piece of paper. And yeah, to be honest, Karma, I think we all knew, and hello Karma, I think we all knew he wouldn't get impeached. The Senate wouldn't do it. Oh no. All right, let's carry. Oh, right, composure. Hello, MC. Oh, I bet you're rubbing one off right now.
Mr. Speaker, the problem is the government's own figures show that it's missing the carbon budget, let alone by 2050, it'll be 2099.
Didn't you ask this like 3 weeks ago? Oh, this is so boring. Carry on.
Before this country meets net zero. And we discovered this morning that 2 former Conservative leaders have also turned down the job formerly done by his minister. Maybe it could be third time lucky. Perhaps we could make a joint approach to the member for Chingford and Woodford Green. Perhaps he would like to take on that job. He's over here and in the chamber all ready for it. His own former Tory minister said we should have clear actions, an agreed plan and a roadmap for the year of action. But we do not. So why is the Prime Minister failing so spectacularly to measure up to the scale of the climate crisis that this country and indeed this planet is facing?
So there are a number of issues with this. The government does aim to meet the target by 2050. It is claimed that the government, the UK as a whole, has been exceeding the targets compared to levels 3 decades ago. But it isn't expected to meet those targets. And it started veering off course about 3 years ago, I think. 4 years ago, even. I think Theresa May wanted to grow the economy and the market and slash emissions. Right, well, that didn't happen. The economy grew, job market did, but the emissions part not so much as well as they wanted. The UK's target would be down 80%, I believe, by 2050. Or they believe that the targets will be missed by a significant margin because of it. More can be done. The government does want to bring into effect, the banning on fossil fuels in cars by like 2035 or 2030 or something stupid. It's possible it can be done, but it'd be very expensive. I'd be very interested to see how that works. Gross emissions in the UK has reduced by 41% in the UK, 27% in Germany, 23% in Italy, 18% in France. Emissions were higher by 4% in Japan, 5% in the USA, and 26% in Canada. So, it's interesting. I need to actually pull the sources because it's from the Climate Watch data from June 2019. The graph creation was in November 2019. Hello, Forgetful 4. I know. It's, yes. Something for Friday with Trups. He's going to be absolutely... I'm expecting him to send me a dick pic at this point.
Mr. Speaker, this is beyond satire. This government. This is the first country, the first major economy in the world to have set a target of carbon neutral by 2050. It's an absolutely fantastic thing. We are leading the world in our ambitions, and we will have a wonderful summit in Glasgow, one of the most fantastic cities in our country, at the end of the year.
Jeremy Corbyn.
Mr. Speaker, this country isn't meeting its target, and it isn't due to meet its target, and I think the Prime Minister should recognise that.
Should, yes, and then do something about it. That's what I tend to agree. I don't know why you want to obsess over that. Clearly he's not going to recognise it because you're not a threat to him. He has no reason to with you there. It might it might be, actually. You never know, Dre.
Even the Paris targets are not enough. The UN says we have just a decade to change course if we want to avert a climate catastrophe.
Firstly, it's catastrophe, not catastrophe. And as far as I remember, didn't they say that 10 years ago?
So let's look at something else his ex-minister said. The Prime Minister promised to lead from the front and guaranteed there would be money and people. But these promises are not close to being met. What on earth could she have been talking about?
Mr. Speaker, as so often, I'm not entirely sure what the right honourable gentleman is talking about. Because if you look at...
Oh, thank you, Tiana. Like to pay the hard-working Cthulhu. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much for your $5 donation. I appreciate it.
What this government has actually delivered, if you look at what our Conservative policies of backing green tech, of backing innovation, of supporting a dynamic market economy, which is the solution to these problems, we have cut CO2 emissions in this country since 2010 on 1990 levels by 42%.
It's 39%, but okay. Weird flex, you don't know your numbers.
42%. That is an astonishing achievement, and at the same time, the economy has grown by 73%, thanks to free market, dynamic, one nation conservatism. That is our approach. What's his?
His solution, I'd like to remind you, because he still believes it's correct, was to spend. Yep, that was it. Because it's never enough unless you've thrown all the money at it. And even then, you need to do more.
His former minister said, my advice to... Well, you might not like it, but I'm going to read it.
No, it wasn't that. You ignored him, you tosser.
My advice to anyone to whom the Prime Minister is making promises, whether it's voters, world leaders, ministers, employees or family members, is get it in writing, get a lawyer to look at it and make sure the money's in the bank. Not my words.
I feel like you're trying to create some kind of conspiracy here. Or I know what it is. It's back to that character assassination that worked so well for you before at the general election, where you were so busy saying you can't trust him, but the people just said, nah, mate, we're going to vote for him anyway.
Hers. The Prime Minister's failure in government means this country won't meet its net zero target until 2099.
Yep.
This government has banned offshore wind, and his government is funding billions.
Has it? Because I look out, when I look to France and see all the white flags, if I look slightly to the left, I see wind farms. I mean, they're really far away, but I can see them. I didn't realise we banned it. That's actually something I didn't know. Huh. Hello, Lord Croco Squirrel. And to anyone else that's turned up, Zach Realist and Vent, hello. Anyone else I haven't said hello to, hi.
Billions on fossil fuel projects abroad. Is this what his minister means by the absence of leadership?
I just... Okay, firstly, I need to pay more attention to that because I was busy. But I'm not entirely sure what your overarching point is yet. Other than you just can't trust Boris, and I won't be alive to see net zero.
Mr. Speaker, I think the grotesque failure of the Leader of the Opposition to understand what is happening in this country's economy, let alone in the fight against climate change, is quite mind-boggling. I can inform him today that this country is leading in not just producing the technology to generate offshore wind, but the northeast of this country leads the world leads the world in producing and designing those fantastic turbines. And it's because of that technological innovation that we are able massively to expand our renewables. And I can tell you, I think you may know this, that in 1990 this country was 70% dependent on coal power. We are now today, and by the way, he'd want to reopen the coal mines.
Is that true? Because I couldn't find anything that said he did. Although, let's have a quick look. Let's have a quick look, everyone. Wanted to reopen coal mines. Not in favour of opening them in 2015. In 2015, vows to... oh, hang on. Okay. So, in August of 2015, he said he wanted to reopen the coal mines. In September of 2015, he said he did not want to reopen the coal mines. Good to know. Onward.
Today we are down to 3%, Mr. Speaker, and by 2024 it will be 0. That's our plan. What's his?
To go back to the back benches and polish the leather with his chamois bottom and protest human rights and probably use the fame he has acquired from being a loser to do nothing. I mean, run out his career, I guess, because the only thing he'll have in his future that'll have any kind of and notoriety to it would be if he stays in long enough to become father of the house. And I'll be honest, it's possible. He might. I'd like to see, and this would be quite funny, I think, I'd like to see him, somebody who's very much against the House of Lords, get a peerage. He's not a career politician, everyone.
It was the Labour Party that proposed the climate change emergency motion to this House on May the 1st. And the Prime Minister is quoting things that happened in 1990 and afterwards. During that time, of course, he was a climate sceptic who didn't say anything about this at all. Poor leadership is nothing new to this Prime Minister. When he was Foreign Secretary, he cut the number of climate attaches across the world by 60% in our embassies and reportedly said, "You're not going to spill this out to the media, are you?" to his staff. Considering his monumental failure in advance of COP26, isn't it really just a continuation of his climate change denial statements that he was regularly making up until 2015?
Mr. Speaker, the Honourable Gentleman is talking absolute nonsense. This government is delivering a fantastic agenda in tackling climate change. We lead the world in going for a zero-carbon approach. His own approach is utterly unclear and has indeed been condemned by the GMB as a disaster for the UK economy that would force people to he would confiscate people's cars and prevent them from having foreign holidays. We have a plan that will allow the UK economy to continue to grow, that will create jobs and tackle climate change.
Jeremy Corbyn, really do.
I don't actually know what the full plan is yet, and I've just realised I had to do that, to pause, because if I leave this going on for too long, I'll probably get another copyright claim. Which is fine, I'll just download it and re-upload it as a video. But with bits cut out, because I'm exciting like that. Yes. I actually don't know what the full plan is for the Conservatives. They have made little bits here and there indicating they want to push for certain extreme measures even to try and get the carbon down. Don't we sell our carbon to somebody?
I do admire the Prime Minister's very vivid imagination. But unfortunately, his vivid imagination seems to have taken over from his memory, because he might recall saying that climate change is a primitive fear without foundation. The Prime Minister of Bangladesh said...
Hang on, are you using old quotes on him like he did on you? Okay.
Any consequence of failure to deliver a climate action plan must fall equally on every country. The cost of our inaction is devastating to every living person.
That's true. It's why it's so interesting that the UK does so much. But a number of the nations that don't do their fair share are not called out for it. Do I have to cough and then say China, or do you all just get that it's China? There are a number of other nations that don't really do much either, but convincing them and other countries that climate change is real, although, let's face it, excuse me, climate change, the base term itself, is real, because climates do, in fact, change. It's always changed. It's understandable, because it does. It's a tautology.
But our Prime Minister is failing on the biggest stage on the most important issue of our time.
He's been in office for 2 months. Well, voted in.
And now his former minister has described preparations in Whitehall as Whitehall not tying infighting and obfuscation, petty political squabbles and black ops briefings. No wonder the Prime Minister is shutting newspapers out of Number 10, because he doesn't like the briefings.
That sounds a bit conspiratorial. I mean, he doesn't do many interviews, but it doesn't mean shutting them out. It just means he doesn't do many interviews, doesn't do much with them. Probably his excuse, Boris's, might be that he is busy. And maybe he's got a point there. But visit Tony Heller's channel. I will be sure to remind myself at some point, Des a Sheep, to check that channel out. Thank you very much for the recommendation. And hello, The Blue Havoc. And Daniel Butchers.
When will he face up?
And yes, Daniel, he's asking the same bloody thing over and over again, because that's all he ever does. He obsesses over one thing and then he won't let it go. He is precious.
To the climate emergency and take the action necessary to turn Glasgow into the turning point.
Hello, Deirdre.
When this world will stop the levels of pollution and climate change we're having.
I like you say this world, but then you attack this country. Have you seen how small we are? Seriously. Look what we are doing to try and change it. Right? Now look at all the other nations of the world and look what they're actually doing. What do you expect them to do when looking at us? Oh, we're the 5th largest economy. They'll listen to us. No, they won't. They won't listen to us at all. Because, do you know why? And I don't know if you know this, but it's a little-known secret that humans are bastards. And they are no ordinary bastards. To quote Dr. Cox, humans are bastard-coated bastards with bastard filling. I hope you understand that.
And go forward to a sustainable future, because his government's policies simply don't take us there.
We'll fight them on the beaches. We'll fight them on the scorched earth.
Mr. Speaker, this government is showing world leadership in tackling climate change, and we're going to have a fantastic summit at Glasgow, and I look forward very much to it. Now, Mr. Speaker, he mentions the media. They did an inquest finally about what happened in the general election, and they discovered.
Oh no.
In the Labour Party, that it wasn't the leadership that was at fault. It wasn't Brexit. It was the media. They blame the media.
Yeah, actually, that's actually true. Some within the Labour Party did blame the media for it. I remember that. That was quite funny. No level of irony there.
For what? Mr. Speaker, I don't blame them. I am a journalist. I love journalism, and I think the people of this country, Mr. Speaker, don't blame the media. They can see the media do their best to represent the reality, and the reality is this is a government that is getting on with delivering 40 new hospitals, 20,000 more.
You say 14?
Tackling climate change, £30,000 starting salaries for every teacher in the country. It's not about the presentation of the facts, Mr. Speaker. It's about the reality, and he can't cope with the reality.
Well, he won't have to for much longer, because I think it's March the 4th, so less than 1 month, everyone. Less than 1 month. And Corbyn is gone. Maybe I should do a video on that. We'll see. Let's get to the best part, the part you're all waiting for. It's paper pervert time.
Mr. Police and Emergency Services. Mr. Speaker, can I...
Project.
Here, Blackfoot.
Are you ready for this? Hide your dreams.
Thank
Oh,
you,
41,
Mr. Speaker.
okay.
Can I add
I'm
my
going deaf.
grateful thanks to the police and
Lol.
emergency services that had to react to the dreadful terrorist incident in Streatham. Mr. Speaker.
I just want you to know in advance, this guy gets 2 questions. He gets 2. If Corbyn can obsess over one thing for 6 questions, what do you think this tosser's about to do?
In the first few days of Brexit Britain, this Prime Minister has sacked an official, taken an isolationist approach to trade and banned the press from a Downing Street briefing. Is he intentionally trying to impersonate Donald Trump?
I should point out, as Donald Trump has just been, acquitted? Is that what it is? I don't know. Whatever it is, it's just happened. Down party lines, imagine my shock. Do you really think he's trying to imitate a guy? No offence, right? Trump's a tosser. He is. But Jesus Christ, the guy's getting results. He really is. And that's what sucks. For a lot of people, he's getting results. So imitating a guy who's getting results. Huh. Interesting. Imitating him. Jesus. It's all conspiratorial with these idiots as well, isn't it? They're always conspiracy related. Oh, I see a couple little things, so it must be a pattern. Right. I can taste the salt from here.
Mr. Speaker, I don't think anybody listening to my speech, I think it was on Monday, could have mistaken it for anything but the most passionate, internationalist, globalist, open, outward-looking approach. There is only one party in this country that has nationalist in their name, Mr. Speaker. That's them. That's them. They would break up the most. They would break up. That's them. They would break up the most successful political partnership of the last 300 years. He and his party should concentrate on the day job and doing a better job for the people of Scotland.
Impeachment acquittal. You're welcome.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister doesn't even know the name of our party.
To be fair, does he need to? A tosser that gets results is better than a whinging wank. Blackford's blood type is A4. It might be, actually, to be fair. Lined for his pleasure.
The Prime Minister is on a dangerous trajectory.
Oh, dangerous.
Is it any wonder that poll after poll shows majority support for Scottish independence?
Not true. No, not even slightly. Actually, for this to be true, he'd have to be ignoring a number of polls that show the last... And this is from whatscotlandthinks.org, right? Several recent polls do show this, but that excludes the don't knows. However, more polls over the last 12 months are a majority against it. But as, of course, because he says it, because Ian Blackford has said that more are in favour of it, the delusion is strong in this one. Yes, it must be correct. Sorry, guys, girls, dudes, dudettes, it's, zers. But Blackford is correct because he says he is. What I'll do, for those who want to see it, I'm going to kindly link the relevant What Scotland Thinks in the description, in the stream chat in a moment once I've tiny URL'd it, because it's a ridiculously long URL. There it is. So here is the What Scotland Thinks. There you go. By all means, enjoy. Ian Blackford is incorrect. You're welcome.
Mr. Speaker, our former US ambassador has made clear the threat of a Tory-Trump trade deal.
It's not a threat. It's a trade deal, you dipshit.
Warning that drug prices could soar. This would see increased pressure on our frontline services. It is clearer than ever that this government, this Prime Minister, is a threat to our NHS.
Oh, he must go. Sorry, was that a bit too Scottish for you?
Mr. Speaker, this afternoon, the SNP will present our NHS protection bill to remove the very real threat of Tory privatisation.
Actually, and this is one of the very weird times where a bill, I said it as well, I don't understand why no government has simply said, okay, we won't privatise the NHS. Let me prove it by putting it in legal text. Hello, Kiax, I hope you're well. Yes. I just, I don't, but then I haven't looked at the SNP's proposal, so I don't know what it actually entailed. But it is, yeah. Thanks. Special brew, deep fried food, skag haggis, and iron brew. Yes, so I've been told. I also heard about the pebble dashing.
Will the Prime Minister commit right now to supporting our legislation?
Okay, I don't know if the legislation can be supported. Tories don't have to. They can always bring forward their own version or just ignore it altogether, which is entirely up to them. I kind of like the idea of protecting the NHS. Scotland is, I know the SNPR, Zach. I really do. I felt like I mentioned it in today's video. I was a bit harsh, I think. But yeah, it'd be interesting. I'm not going to let Boris finish, by the way, because he just spews the same crap at him. This man has just wasted 2 questions, and essentially it came down to, oh, Trump, oh, ach, Trump. That's about it. I know I don't do a Scottish accent, because I can't. Okay. Hello, Tyson Jedi. I hope you're well. I think we are done here, by the way. I think we should, yes, go and rest. This has been a fun stream for me, by the way. The Trump impeachment acquittal is, yes, quite the subject. I'm not going to make a video on it myself. It's not my place to. I don't care enough. But undoubtedly, the smuggest Trump memes are going to be used this Friday. And I look forward to it because Trumps is going to absolutely enjoy it. I might actually see if he'll just want to host it so he can be smug. Yeah. The Welsh Assembly is hopeless. I know. It's why I won't go near it. Because it's just... I've watched 2 or 3 of the sessions on BBC Parliament. It's rubbish. Yeah. Trump slide 2020. I think so at this point. Anyway, I'm going to go hang out with patrons. Thank you, Desert Sheep. I really appreciate it. I hope I can grow this channel. I've done really well on my main channel. I'd like to believe I can do it here too. I'm going to go chill in a patron voice chat as I promised I would on Wednesdays. So thank you all very much for joining. Thank you very much for the donation. I really appreciated it. And if you haven't already, smash like. Good night.